The arts are all around us, from the music that we listen to the architecture of the buildings that we live in, even to the clothes that we wear. And all this art is possible by the arts education that students like us receive.
However, because of the limited funds for art education, it's harder to find opportunities to pursue creative interests. Let's delve deeper into the issue. The main source of funding for art classes is a portion of the general education money given to schools. Art receives a chunk of this money because it is considered a core subject, the same as English, math, science, and so on. The problem is that with a greater focus on standardized tests, such as those required by the No Child Left Behind Act, attention towards the arts fades.
So in the last administration, when No Child Left Behind started, what was made important by that administration was testing and having standards and kind of raising the bar so that all students are learning the same kinds of things. While that's important, you also need the funding to go with it. So it's one thing to, say everyone needs to know this much in math or this much in science, but if you have to do that and teach kids all of those new things or in a new way, but you don't have any dollars to back that up, it's very difficult to do.
With almost no money behind the high expectations for art education, how do art classes survive in public schools? Well, programs apply for grants from the state and national government. The National Endowment for the Arts, a government agency responsible for preserving art across the nation, provides some money to local organizations to spur art programs in all levels of school. Other sources include state art alliances and commissions, and money invested by parents and other community members.
The NEA grants have been crucial to us growing the program. We had about 10 years where we solidified programming and partnerships with the schools. We had state funding and private funding from corporations and individuals. But about 3 years ago, we decided Discover Dance was a great program. It was working. We had support from the district, and we wanted to be able to go into more schools, and that required a lot more money. And then when we got the program funded, we were able to essentially double the impact of the number of students, number of schools that we reach, which was a dramatic increase for us.
We have to write grants every year and try to get money from, sometimes the Kennedy Center does provide some grants funding for that. The Washington State Arts Commission provides grants for that and other arts programs. But the sad thing is that we also just received word that in the governor's budget in the state of Washington, the Arts Commission is being cut. So that's very sad news. I mean, if you think about the 15 to 25 different arts organizations, Pacific Northwest Ballet, Arts Impact, Arts Ed Washington, Seattle Children's Theater, all of those get funding from the state in the form of grants. So if that department disappears, what happens to all of those organizations? It's bad enough the way it is, and it's getting less and less every year in the area of funding, but now even what we have is being cut. They also do a tremendous amount of advocacy work with the state. They worked really hard with the Core 24, which is one of the new high school education requirements. And so they got that passed. It still has one more level to go through, and that's the state legislature has to approve it. But that is we would be the first state in the country that would require 2 arts credits for graduation.
Is art education even important? The world seems to be becoming more scientific and math-oriented. So is art really something that should be attended to?
Music and other art classes is great just for brain development, and it's important for other skills in life.
It lets you experience a way to think differently when you're taking an art class as opposed to like a traditional course like math or English.
Music is a good way to express myself.
When you give children arts instruction, it has a general positive impact on most of the learning that they're doing. Attendance improves in schools which have arts education programs.
You stop to think that there's nothing out there that didn't start with a creative idea. Creative idea that is brand new, that can sponsor an innovation that leads to a new industry, that leads to new jobs. That's pretty great economics.
Arts teach some of the same things that are always trotted out in support of athletics in school, which is teamwork, patience, how to fail, how to succeed.
All types of art have so much implication on our history as a society, as a world, as a culture. You know, a lot of the artifacts that we know and things that we know about history have come down through arts. And they're a reflection of what's happening in the world.
It's a medium without boundaries of language, ethnicity, social background. I feel like art has bridged the gap in so many areas.
There are lots of programs out there to help promote the arts, but what can individuals do to help keep art alive in school and in the greater community?
Well, at the local community level, the best thing to do is to talk to your school boards, talk to your principals. Beyond that, I mean, contacting your state legislatures and your state officials, senators.
Supporting the artists in your community, and that means buying art, that means buying music, not stealing music, you know, not downloading things for free, and not just because you think you're going to get caught, but because you want to support the person who created that thing.
I think as organizations, we need to have kids involved with us. We want teenagers and high school students to come to the ballet or, you know, take a dance class, because that's our future. Kids are our future.
Evidently, art is essential to life and culture.
Although the federal government acknowledges art as a core subject, it does not provide enough fiscal support to keep art education strong in public schools.
So it's our job as Americans to keep art alive in our country.